And without a doubt, it is one of the most frustrating, most unpleasant feelings we can experience in love, realizing that we don't feel good chasing someone, but we can't help it. Why? Because that person gave us something, got us used to something, made us feel special. We had a feeling of connection, even a certain power over the person. And now that person changes, becomes distant, takes all this away from us, and it's almost inevitable for us to say, I miss you, it hurts, I don't want this to go to waste, I see potential, I'm going after you. And what usually happens when we go after them? Well, it leads to our self-esteem dropping, to us feeling bad about ourselves, and to top it off, in most cases, that person seems to distance themselves even more. They start treating us in a way that is not how we would like. They begin to offer us ambiguous relationships, keep us in an emotional limbo. We feel like we're given crumbs, and that becomes something very toxic and unhealthy for us. Well, if this sounds familiar to you, if it sounds like you meet someone, everything is fine at first, but there's a high chance it will end as you've described. Don't worry, because I'm going to bring you, as I said, 10 rules. If you truly use them, as I told you at the beginning, I guarantee that you won't find yourself in that situation again. And these rules will be difficult for you at first because it's probably not what you're used to. But once you make them intrinsic, like they're your own, they will come naturally to you. And you'll see how well everything works when you follow them, when you meet someone, when you'll say, it's worth it, right? The first, don't be constantly checking. And this, especially today, more than anything else, is about mobile phones. Don't keep checking their social media constantly. Don't try to control who they have followed or who has started following them. Don't spend your time trying to spy on the profiles they follow to see what kind of relationship they have. You are not that person's detective. Don't act like a detective. Don't spend your time constantly checking if they have already written to you. Even if they haven't written to you, if they have been online when they were online, why? Because that is an excess of energy, an excess of attention, and what we focus our energy on grows. And let me tell you something. If you fall in love before that person does, you will be at a disadvantage. You will be at a natural disadvantage. In fact, it's very likely that by falling out of sync in love, by not being in step, this is what causes things not to work out well. So that's why it's not about adding more fuel to the fire. It's not about feeding your desires. It's not about putting this person above you by giving them excessive attention. So really control those impulses. We think they're harmless. And who doesn't do it? Who doesn't spy? Who doesn't check the ex-girlfriend's profile? Well, from now on, you really. If you want this to work out, you have to take it seriously. So the first rule is this: I'm not keeping track. I interact with you, meaning when you write to me, I respond. But if I don't have a message from you, I don't go into your chat. If I'm on my social media and a post of yours appears, I see it and decide whether I want to interact with it or not. But I repeat, I'm not keeping track of your list or who you follow or your followers or your activities. Nor do I live waiting to see if you've already seen what I've posted, really. Take it seriously, I repeat. Don't give excessive attention to something because then, oh, I've fallen in love with so-and-so. And that so-and-so hasn't done anything for me. Could it be that they are the love of my life? No. It's that you are an obsessive person who has given disproportionate attention to someone when you don't have to. Second rule, don't be fully available. Why? Well, mainly to protect your space and how you let people into your life. Nowadays, we live in a time where people are extremely hooked on novelty. What's happening? They meet you and get excited about you like a child with a new toy. So usually, there are many people who, as soon as they meet you, give you excessive attention and full availability. That is, they want to write to you. All day they want to be in contact all day. But then the same thing happens. Or things go wrong even before giving you the chance to get to know them, leaving you feeling bad because you've gotten used to their company, right? So you go through a morning for someone you haven't even met face to face, nor do you know if that physical chemistry would have worked. Or, yes, Maybe they meet up a couple of times, but then they lose interest. You're no longer the new toy. Someone new appears. And as I say, you're left with that feeling of, what happened? Are you causing me a physical withdrawal? Why? Because, indeed, you've gotten me used to something that you've then taken away many times without giving explanations, sometimes in a very cowardly way. They ghost you and leave you there with zero emotional responsibility. Okay, so to prevent this from happening to you, first of all, you must not allow it. That is, I don't know you, I can't trust you, nor do you deserve my full availability. You will earn my availability. How? By showing me your level of commitment and consistency. That is, at the beginning, I get to know you, okay? So I have a period during which I allow communication between us. And this way I also control not being too attentive. In other words, I don't allow you to decide to what extent I get used to you. I don't allow you to become an addiction for me. A very good thing is, for example, I limit my phone to certain time slots, right? For example, during work hours, I am not going to focus on romantic matters. Suppose, for example, I am a parent or have a family member to care for or want to talk with my friends. It doesn't matter. It's not about having to give up your phone for other people who have already earned your availability and love. It's about the fact that this person today is a stranger. Why? Why are you suddenly going to go from not knowing the person to being with them all day? No. So I limit my time slots. I might say, okay, when I meet someone, I allow myself or find it reasonable that our interaction is limited to 4 message exchanges a day. But like this, how am I going to get to know the person? The thing is, I'm not interested in getting to know someone via messages. If the person wants, let me suggest meeting up. We meet. I don't want to get to know someone virtually. Why? Because nothing guarantees that. As I say, he will make a smoke bomb and I will look bad because I allowed access. Too much. So at the beginning, I limit this. If I see that I enjoy the interaction or set time slots, I say, well, when I get home from dinner, from 9 to 10 at night, I allow myself to chat or talk with potential people I might want to meet. I give that time slot. I'm not on it all day. I don't carry my phone in my pocket to keep checking it. I give that time slot. And then I have, at the beginning when I meet someone, a limited time slot in which I can meet up. I don't adapt my schedule. I don't adapt to your time slot. I make you adapt to mine. At the beginning, I might only be able to meet, due to work, family, hobbies, or whatever. I can meet on Friday afternoon, or I can meet on Saturday afternoon, or Sunday morning. That's my time slot. If you can't, be a bit smart. Meaning, if you know that the person works on Friday afternoon or Saturday morning, obviously you won't offer a time slot that, would require them to neglect. Give an obligation. Within their time, try to find out a bit about their schedule first. Within their time, you set the time slot. It's not about what plans you have, what plans I have, and coordinating. No, if it can't be this week, it can't be. But make sure, trust me, that the person adapts to your time slot. Because that will make them value seeing you much more, the time they spend with you, and take you much more seriously. That's how it is. Third rule, get rid of the habit of indulging in fantasy. Don't start fantasizing from the very first minute, especially not about what you hope will happen with the person or living out scenarios that haven't occurred. If you want to think about someone, think about what has already happened, what the person has already told you about themselves, what they have already done for you, the moments you have shared, not about everything that could be. Why? Because once again, this leads to infatuation, meaning infatuation is an idealization of the person we know, necessary. That idealization for infatuation, and infatuation is usually necessary for us to be predisposed to wanting to establish a relationship. What happened? It's much easier for me to make you fall in love if I wait for you to fall in love first, or at least sense that we are on the same page, than if I fall in love myself. I have to understand that here women start at a disadvantage because we are more prone to fantasize. That's why we are more likely to fall in love first. Men don't. Men, yes, when they are without you, there will be moments when they start thinking about you. A man in love will think about you all day. It's not that they don't think about us, right? But let's say at first, women tend to be we are more prone to idealization more easily. We are quicker to attribute all those qualities. So, here, we rely on the same thing I explained to you in the first rule. You don't want to fall in love first. You're not interested. That can sabotage everything. So, forget it already. Forget about so many movies, about so much. It's just that I get excited quickly. And you're one of those who usually gets hurt, right? Well, avoid it, really. Try to control your mind. When you realize that you are constantly escaping with the person, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to fall in love with myself. Because if I fall in love with myself, I expose myself to being hurt before you've even earned the right to make me fall in love. Fourth, after good moments, allow some space. Because as we've seen, idealization is necessary for falling in love. And the easiest way to ensure that someone idealizes me is by giving them space to think about me. Space to miss me, to value me, however you want to call it. So it's always more effective when we also use this to highlight an especially good moment. For example, we've had a conversation with this person and we realize it has been more vulnerable. Maybe they've told us something important about their past, something important about themselves, or a dream they have for the future. In other words, we feel that we've had a moment, or we've had a really good date, or we've taken a step towards this growing. Well, at that moment, I don't need to distance myself for 3 days, but I do give a longer margin than usual. I do give at least a few hours, right? Maybe that morning I'm busier working. Maybe I let a few days pass without being able to meet. I mean, it depends. You have to assess where you are, how to adapt the space. But those spaces are those gaps that will, let's say, foster the idealization. All these rules, let's say, simply help to ensure that nothing goes wrong and things flow. But in the end, it flows when it has to flow, meaning we can't scratch where there is nothing. Someone who is not meant for you, this is not manipulation, because someone who is not meant for you or who doesn't have enough chemistry or feeling won't see it just because you do all this. But if there is a little bit, all of this helps to enhance it and ensure that nothing goes wrong. So giving that necessary space at specific moments or in general, occasionally having that lack of availability, like saying I can't meet, I'm sorry, or being less communicative one day, all of that merely helps the person reflect on the gap we have in their life and what happens when they miss us. If I want something that I can't have, I imagine it, right? I feel like seeing Pepito or Julita, but it turns out Pepito and Julita can't. So I think about that person because I want to see them. And while thinking about them, how do I imagine them? Well, I imagine them in the way I like the most. That is, I attribute to them that way of being, that way of acting that I like. I fantasize, idealize, I fall in love. Fifth, don't reveal your intentions nor be the one seeking commitment. Exclusivity. Why? Because that offers excessive security to the other person, who stops questioning what you want if they are good enough for you, if they are winning you over. They no longer question anything. It's already like, okay, if this person wants something serious with me, wants something exclusive with me, they are completely convinced about me. What do I want? The moment I no longer have to evaluate myself, I start questioning the other person. Now it's me who scrutinizes whether you really convince me. If I couldn't find someone I like more, right? If there's no other option out there, right? I was talking to 4 people and this one already wants to sign me up for something serious. I don't know if maybe I liked some of the other 3 more. Don't go, don't offer. I know that many times we do this as a boundary, right? Or we believe that this way we will make the other person take us seriously, right? I'm not here to waste my time. As I said before, we set boundaries, not in terms of what I demand from you. I don't demand from you. I give to you based on what you show me. That's where the boundary is. It can't be that I allow you to go from being a stranger to writing to me 24 hours. I adjust my schedule, meet with you when you can, live constantly thinking about you, but I tell you, hey, I want exclusivity. If I'm letting them run rampant through my life, the boundary is not about demanding. I still don't know what I want. I am getting to know you. I am evaluating you. Show me that it's worth having a relationship with you. That's when the other person makes an effort. Sixth, don't talk about your romantic failures or present yourself as a person with an unsatisfied life, as a sad person, as someone who is looking for someone to come into their life to solve their problems. This is very unattractive. Firstly, talking about our failures, especially if it involves infidelity, if we've been cheated on, creates distrust in the other person. It's as if this person isn't doing well if others haven't wanted to commit. To him or her, there's something wrong, something bad. It's as if you were already a piece of clothing from a discount store, right? Where's the flaw? Don't do that. It doesn't matter if things haven't gone well for you, it's just that as of today, you haven't found that person with whom you feel the way you need to feel. And that's okay, because you are the kind of person who knows how to enjoy life, who feels good about themselves, and who isn't looking for someone to take responsibility for their happiness. That is the attractive attitude and the attitude we need to convey to the other person. Not the one like, oh my goodness, things have gone so badly for me. I hope things don't go badly with you, because if one more person does, I'm out of here. Seventh, don't reveal yourself too quickly. Sometimes we believe that the more the person knows, the sooner we'll find out if we're compatible, if we fit, right? We often do it like a transaction, don't we? About me, bam, 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 bam. And we don't realize to what extent we kill one of the important things in the process of courtship, which is mystery. You have to approach revealing yourself a bit like availability. At first, just the basics. And based on how much I see you show interest, how much I see from your side what you do to get closer to me, to earn points, then little by little I start revealing myself. I start telling you other parts of myself, I start opening up. But I'm going to completely stop the habit from the very beginning where some people share intimate details. And I say this with knowledge of the matter because I analyze conversations where I've met this person on a dating app, where you don't even know if it's really the person behind the profile and they've been told things that I say. These are secrets. This is information that could even harm you. These are things we shouldn't be sharing. And it's not about being an open person or an extroverted person. It has nothing to do with that. You're being reckless. If you do this, you're being reckless. So truly, we need to understand that giving ourselves to the other, these are our cards. These are our assets. As I say, if I come and from the start, I give you availability, I give you the assurance that I want something serious with you, I tell you absolutely everything about myself. You have no cards left. You have nothing to play with. You've put everything on the table. You've given it all away. You've taken all the fun out of it. Love is a game of conquest. In the initial stages, there is a game of attraction, a game of conquest. There has to be doubt, excitement, desire, effort, interest. If you put everything on the table, if you make it so easy for me, you are the one taking away my desire. Eighth, if in the process of getting to know each other at any moment, it doesn't matter if it's been 5 days, 3 weeks, or 2 months. If this person does something that makes me feel bad, that puts me in conflict with myself, something that makes me uncomfortable with the situation, and this doesn't have to be something bad they do to me, it can also often be what they don't do. That is to say, they were offering me consistency and suddenly they disappear for 2 days. Not an example, you're not doing something to me, but the act of not doing was affecting me. It doesn't even cross my mind to do silly things like pretending I didn't notice or trying to match their level of interest. I'm going to act as if nothing is happening, so that everything stays the same, but something is happening. And when you act as if nothing is happening, you show them that you're the kind of person willing to sweep the dirt under the rug. Don't do it. No. The moment this person does something that causes conflict or makes you feel bad, communicate it directly and clearly, without anger, without creating drama, without playing the victim, without implying anything. I've gone 2 days without eating. You've made me feel terrible. I think I'm dying without you. No, 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 no. That is to say, you shouldn't show an excess of vulnerability, even if that's how you felt. But do say clearly, this change on your part or this behavior hasn't made me feel good about myself. I don't think you want to keep getting to know yourself, period. That is to say, I express to you that you've done wrong and my intention to leave this here. Amanda, but I don't want to leave this here. I already know. But this person needs to see that you are willing to do it. And believe me, in most cases, they will make sure it doesn't stay here. But they will make an effort to ensure it doesn't stay here. And you have to allow it to be a bit difficult for them, that they have to earn it. Only then do you show them who you are and ensure that they don't do it to you again. If instead you act as if nothing happened, you keep quiet about it. No, I must understand that I am also dealing with many. We often think we are smarter than we actually are, and the moment you do that, that person loses respect for you. You cannot allow them to lose respect for you. 9th, don't act like their partner until they actually are. We often believe that one thing will lead to the next, but we really need to provide an incentive. That is to say, yes, obviously I am getting to know someone with whom there is chemistry, we are getting to know each other, and little by little I am giving more of myself. But the consideration of being a couple, which includes many of the things we talked about before, like being willing to adapt my schedule to you, sharing important intimacies about myself. I speak of security, of exclusivity, meaning I let you understand, because many times we offer that reassurance as an example. I don't meet with this person on Saturday because they have other plans or I have other plans, and now I communicate with them and let them know what I am doing so they can see that they shouldn't doubt there might be someone else that I have. Do not offer that security, I repeat, until this person is my partner. There are certain things, like that tranquility, like being able to access me all day, that I reserve for my partner. But if I make you see that the moment we become a couple, all of this will be at your disposal and how I do it. And here we go with the 10th and last one. And this is like a psychological trick that helps to also, let's say, program the person's mind in the direction we want. And it's that when I'm getting to know you, I make you see that my vision of love or my way of acting in love is that I'm a person for whom it is difficult, quite difficult, to fall in love and commit, but when I do it completely. That is to say, I don't give myself to just anyone. It's very complicated. I really have to see something from the other person. There has to be a commitment. There has to be chemistry. The matter has to convince me a lot. But yes, when someone achieves it, on my part, let's say it opens up. All this that I'm not giving you and that I won't give you until we are a couple doesn't mean that I'm not a person who is capable of giving. It means that I save it for the right person. So when I give that message that it's complicated for me to fall in love, I already incite in you a competitive spirit, a human desire. We really want to achieve things. We like rewards. We like goals. So presenting it as, look, I am a goal in itself. For me to fall in love is a goal in itself. It's not easy. It's something complicated. But on top of that, there's a reward. Because when I do, it's not like everything stays the same. And when we become a couple, we just get the title. No, it's not about the title. It's about when I make a commitment, certain things are unlocked, like you will receive a different kind of attention from me than what I give when you're not. And this, as I say, usually helps to channel the desire, to channel the person's effort in the right direction. Try it. Really, if you realize that in the end, you are the person who ends up feeling anxious, nervous in relationships, as I said before, thinking all day, constantly attentive, ultimately being the one who suffers in relationships, to put it plainly, being the one who loses out, who invests, who falls in love, and who ends up getting burned in love. Try these 10 rules, and you won't have to chase anymore. And in fact, I believe there are many chances that the story with the person you've tried it with will end the way you want. Well, I hope this video is helpful to you, that you liked it. If that's the case and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, of course I invite you to do so. Hit the bell, because I would love for us to see each other again very soon. And until then, as always, I send you a big kiss.